Well, welcome to Paris, and thank you for bringing this fairy tale to a land where we need it. Well, we just discovered some incredible scenes from your movie, and we want to know more. So basically, how much can you tell us about your character, really, and maybe the pleasure about revisiting such a classic fairy tale as Sleeping Beauty?
Un tel conte de fées classique comme La Belle au Bois dormant.
You go for it.
I think it was both the greatest pleasure and an extreme challenge to have such an extraordinary original,
d'avoir entre les mains un original tellement extraordinaire, et on a fait en sorte de pouvoir être vraiment très fidèle et de rendre hommage. Moi, en tant qu'enfant, je l'adorais, j'étais fascinée, elle me faisait très peur, j'étais fascinée par elle, mais je ne voulais vraiment rien faire qui ne serait pas suffisamment bien pour tous ceux qui l'ont aimée toutes ces années.
Sleeping Beauty was always my favorite princess. I felt like I identified with her the best just because pink was my favorite color, and she always wore the pink dress and had the long blonde hair, and I had the long blonde hair, so she was my princess, and so to like get to play her was so amazing, and I was so excited. Obviously, I had watched like the animated film so many times before, but I watched it right before we started filming just again, because I wanted to make sure she has certain hand gestures that she does, and her posture is very specific, and I wanted to make sure that I kind of brought that to her, because I'm such a fan, and so for all the fans that are fans of Sleeping Beauty, I wanted to make sure that I incorporated
Belle au Bois dormant, je voulais vraiment pouvoir
there's also, I mean, from what we saw this morning, I mean, some very intriguing relationship between really, and a new one, so to speak, between the two of you, the light and the darkness, and also great chemistry. Could you tell us a bit about your relationship and how slowly but surely you built this on-screen chemistry?
Well, I think there are, of course, things we can't say.
Il y a vraiment des choses qu'on ne peut pas vous dire.
To explain everything about our relationship, because our relationship is very much the center of the film, and it's part of the mystery of the film. But the nice thing about it is that you do know so much more. It's this story, we've gone back and we understand how Maleficent became the way she is, and we meet for the first time when I'm cursing her as a baby. And then it continues on in the years that follow, and how we affect each other's lives. And so I think it was a beautiful script written by Linda Wolverton, and the goal was not just to entertain children or to retell a story. The goal was to try to see if these deeper themes of really understanding who somebody was, not judging them by just what they seem to be, maternal instincts, a certain sisterhood of friendship, a love of country and your land and trying to protect it. So there are all these many themes, but at the heart of it is
mais vraiment au cœur de tout.
I can't say.
Je ne peux pas vous le dire.
The heart of it is something that you have to see the movie for. But I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful film. It's hopefully fun and exciting and has all these things that will make the children love it. But at its core, it's also something that has deep meaning.
Il y a vraiment des thèmes extrêmement profonds.
Well, let's go into deeper meanings with your words, dear journalists. So who launched the first question here? Where's the mic? Here,
messieurs les journalistes.
Hi. Mark Sego, Sci-Fi Magazine.
Bonjour, Sci-Fi Magazine. C'était vraiment extraordinaire de pouvoir découvrir ces premières images ce matin. Donc je vous félicite toutes les deux. Quel a été le défi le plus important que vous ayez eu à faire face, vous, en tant qu'actrice?
For me, it was doing so much green screen and special effects. I'd never experienced that before, because we every time I had a hair change or a wardrobe change at all, I would have to go and we do these scans. So you stand on a turntable and they kind of turn you inch by inch, and you stand there stiff and you can't move at all. So then they screen your body, and that was just so. I never had to do that, and also just using your imagination in a way.
Beaucoup faire appel à son imagination, comme je ne l'ai jamais fait auparavant, parce qu'en fait, vous regardez dans le vide et il faut vraiment essayer d'imaginer dans votre tête soit la petite fée, ou vous devez vraiment vous visualiser toute seule. Et pour vous, les défis,
The challenge, I think, was just you can't play a character like this halfway at all. And so to embrace fully who she is and you know, I think the first time I had my horns on and my heels on and my thing, you know, and you're walking around with a staff and you're trying to, and her voice is so particular, and I studied a lot of British theatre actresses and did some voice training for my own voice, kind of, because I'm not a theatre actress. So everything was bigger. But I had my first day, I knocked my horns on the trailer, I couldn't see properly with my contacts, I couldn't figure out how to work with my staff, you know, everything was a bit clunky, my cloaks. So everything about it just felt quite awkward. And then I scared my own children when they saw me. So there's a few things that had to be worked out. But then the fun of it is when you get it all together, you just have to take a deep breath and say, okay, if I'm having fun, and I hope the audience will have fun. So we'll do it together and just don't be shy and try to give it all you got.
You certainly didn't seem shy on screen. Question, where's the mic?
Prochaine question.
Over there.
Bonjour. Je voulais simplement savoir si le film original, le dessin animé, vous servait quand même de base ou justement vous avez voulu vous démarquer du dessin animé?
Well, I mean, did the original Disney film, I mean, was like a basis for you, or did you really try to get away from it, so to speak?
Equally both.
Les deux, vraiment, de la même manière.
The christening, for example, is something that's the center of our film. And the christening itself, we wanted to stay as true to as possible. So that was kind of our center point. What then led to the christening became a new discovery. But it had to lead to that particular christening. And what happens after would be the effect of that moment. So in trying to get that center right and accurate and true to it, everything else kind of did open up, but then we had to discover new things. I think the first time you and I had to see, I remember we were watching Fairies together.
Je pensais quand on regardait les fées ensemble, c'était tellement étrange.
Because as two girls who've watched this
we're
live,
never together.
We're never together. And so the first time we actually had, where I wasn't attacking you, where we just kind of were hanging out in the same space and lounging and watching, it felt so strange. It felt like we were breaking some kind of rule of the Disney rules. That Aurora and Maleficent should not be spending time together.
C'est vraiment la méchante ne peut pas être avec la princesse.
Cette méchante a l'air également pleine de charme et assez heureuse de ce qu'elle fait. Comment l'actrice a-t-elle trouvé le matériau pour incarner cette méchante?
Well, you are, of course, quite mean, but very charming at the same time, and you seem to be reveling in your badness or meanness. As an actress, where did you go, deep inside or not, to find out the cruelty in you?
Oh my. Mon Dieu. I don't know if that's something I can admit to.
C'est quelque chose que je ne peux pas vraiment admettre, mais...
You know, you
Vous savez,
there's a strange thing about playing the bad guy where it does allow a certain thing to come out. And I think we all have something in it. We all have wicked in us, and we all have something. We all find ourselves maybe on your way here in traffic and you're getting frustrated. And there's something that makes everybody at some point just wish they could change things. So there are many things that frustrate me or make me angry. And I think just pulling them all together and being able to laugh at it and be able to enjoy it and not make light of it, but she is but it's not like that kind of heavy drama where the drama, that things that you're angry about way heavy and they're the very serious problems of the world. It's a nice light drama where you can just be really wicked and really irritable. And it's in fact a great deal of fun. I suggest everyone try it once.
Je vous suggère à tous de pouvoir essayer ça une fois.
Question là-bas.
Bonjour. J'avais une question par rapport à vos enfants. Vous avez dit que la première fois qu'ils vous ont vu dans le costume, ils ont été effrayés. Comment est-ce que vous avez abordé le rôle? Vous leur en avez parlé et qu'est-ce que vous leur avez montré de tout ça?
Well, you just mentioned earlier that the first time your kids saw you, actually they were kind of scared. I mean, how did you sort of tell them about the character? What did you show them to make them sort of less scared, so to speak.
I brought them over to Elle.
Je les ai emmenés voir Elle.
Introduced them to Sleeping Beauty and Prince Charming.
Pour dire voilà, c'est elle qui allait être la Loba dormant, et ils ont vu le prince, ils ont vu tous les personnages.
So they actually had to watch the prosthetics come on and off.
Ils ont vu en fait les prothèses, ils ont vu enlever et mettre le nez, les oreilles pointues,
so I had them come in and just watch.
Je leur demandais de venir et pour qu'ils puissent voir vraiment ces prothèses qu'on enlevait, qu'ils comprennent. Il y a vraiment des choses qu'ils n'ont pas aimé. Les petites choses, elles les ont amusées, mais Pax, non, il n'a pas aimé. Donc c'est dur, c'est difficile de voir votre mère dans cet état, surtout pour un enfant, c'est assez horrifique.
What were your favorite Disney characters when
Quels étaient vos personnages favoris les méchants?
Or characters.
My favorite was Cruella de Vil.
Pour moi, c'était Cruella.
Is that yours?
This is why you deserve.
C'est pour ça que tu mérites d'être puni. Et vous?
She was
moi, c'était
actually
Maléfique, oui, c'était vraiment ma favorite.
Why did you pick on her that you
found
liked?
her. I found her
je trouvais qu'elle était très élégante,
very, very strong, and she scared me. There was something about her that was just so completely sure of her, and maybe it was the reveling in the evil that was just she had something. You couldn't quite figure her out. You couldn't quite understand.
Qu'on n'arrivait pas complètement à la comprendre. On n'était jamais vraiment très à l'aise avec elle.
Oui, micro, pardon.
Oui, bonjour, Marc Choquet, Chérie FM, et bravo pour les premières images qu'on a vues ce matin. Pour ce film, Angelina, vous êtes à la fois productrice déléguée et actrice. Qu'est-ce que ça a eu de plus difficile ou de différent dans ce projet?
Well, congratulations first on what we saw this morning. I mean, Angelina, you're both here, obviously, an actress, but also executive producer. What did it bring to the film, so to speak, or how differently did you have to see that film from both perspectives?
To be honest, it wasn't very different.
Pour dire la vérité, ce n'est pas très différent.
In any film you're part of, you try to participate in all levels as much as they let you.
Film et vous essayez de participer à tous les niveaux tant qu'on vous le permet. Vous essayez aussi de faire partie, de proposer vos solutions, quels que soient les différents départements, les cascades ou autres. Donc, vraiment, les choses se sont faites de manière très naturelle et je me suis impliquée un peu dans tout et je me suis assurée que tout fonctionnait bien.
But the same kind of work I would do with or without title in any
genre
film.
de travail que je fais sur n'importe quel film.
Micro ici.
Ma question, est-ce qu'elle est vraiment méchante ou est-ce qu'en fin de compte, elle ne défend pas un monde qui est condamné à disparaître par les hommes?
Well, is your character really, truly mean, cruel, or is she trying really to stand up and to defend a territory that is being aggressed by human beings? I see you smile. You like that question.
Vous aimez cette question?
Yes.
Oui.
Yes, she is.
Oui,
I think you'll find that there's a lot more to her than this idea. You know, is she even evil? She does evil things. She gets in a point in her life where, because of what happens to her, the circumstances in her life, she becomes somebody who is full of hate, and becomes a vengeful, horrible, hateful person, and takes it out on an innocent child. She loses her humanity. But when she's little, she does have a very strong sense of she protects the land and she's quite decent. I think in many ways, and in some ways it's a story about somebody who has a lot of good and has a lot of goodwill, who is tested and abused and then loses their humanity. And maybe part of the question is, can she help me find it?
C'est est-ce qu'elle pourrait m'aider à le trouver, à retrouver mon humanité? Est-ce que j'ai cette humanité?
From France 5. It's a question for Angelina. Hello.
Oh, hello.